This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English. And this is a bonus episode today, people. Oh yeah, it's not the normal kind of episode. This episode is strictly for football fans because I get quite a few messages from people saying, oh, why don't you record another football podcast? The ones you did about the World Cup were really good. So that's exactly what I have done with Boom Boom again. So if you're not a football fan, this is probably not for you. So probably just switch off and listen to the normal one on Mondays and Thursdays now. And one other thing to say is Boom Boom and I recorded this after a Monday episode. So we recorded the podcast for next Monday, then we recorded this. And then as Boom Boom says on this podcast, and we often talk about football before or after recording a podcast. So this time we thought, let's just hit record and then people can listen to our conversation. So there's no rock and roll vocabulary, grammar. It's just two friends having a chat about football. And we talk about the Champions League. We get a little bit carried away speaking about English teams. Well, I say a little bit carried away. I think we only speak about English teams, but we are two English boys. So, you know, we talk about the teams that we know best. But the stupid thing is that we forgot to mention the Juventus match and Cristiano Ronaldo. So I will talk about that at the end because he played in England, so I love him. And he played for Manchester United. Anyway, here is the conversation. Happy listening. Boom Boom Cannon, how are you?
Good, Martin. How are you?
Always fantastic, Boom Boom. It's so fantastic now because we're doing a football episode, something I've been looking forward to for a while. I've got a few messages as well, Boom Boom, saying from people that they wanted you back, especially for the football, for your football analysis.
That's good. That is good to hear. And I mean, we often sort of prior to recording the normal pods just talk about football anyway. So we might as well just hit record and give the people what they want. Exactly.
That's exactly the way I looked at it. Let's just hit record this time and talk about it and record it. So obviously the Champions League was quite recent. I mean, there's only one place to start with that, which is obviously, what do you think?
Porto Roma.
Well, you know what? So that was obviously on the same night as the PSG Man United match. I went into school the next day with like my class of teenagers. There's a few of them that like football. And I said, did you watch the game last night? And I completely forgot there was the Porto Roma match. And they went, yeah, like Porto Roma. I was like, who gives a fuck about that? The fucking Man United match was on.
Yeah, the match. I'm talking about the match.
Yeah. But it was so good. Just that last minute. So obviously, I think it was Damot that took the shot. And then I just thought, I was actually thinking, don't shoot, because he was having a fucking nightmare. And I thought, at least we've got a corner. And then they said, the referee's just going over there to check. I was like, what's going on? Showed the replays. Hit his arm. This hit his arm. Come on, let's have it.
Yeah. It's one of those ones as well where I think once they review it with VAR, with handballs, they seem to be giving those kind of handballs.
Yeah.
So I thought, he's going to give that.
Yeah. The one of the other best bits was seeing Neymar's face.
Yeah.
And he did that thing of like running down to the pitch because I think he was in like the crowd before. And then he came down of like, I'm here now, like everything will be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as well after... he said he put that thing on social media apparently and said, how could it be a penalty? It hit his back. I was thinking, look, we can argue whether it was a penalty or not, but it fucking hit his arm. Like that's clear as day.
Yeah. He's not someone that I guess unless you sort of support PSG, that it's sort of it's quite good to see him not winning. I guess put it that way. He's
exactly. Plus, as well, PSG. I apologise if any PSG fans are there. Well, kind of, not really. They're an easy team to hate, aren't they? Yeah. Very easy team to hate.
Exactly. I mean, a bit, with the money, a bit kind of like I do with City, but particularly Chelsea as well. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, easy to dislike them, I think.
And the fact that Paris Saint-Germain spend all this money because they really want to win the Champions League, and like twice in the last few years when they beat Barcelona, 4-0 and then lost. This match they won 2-0 in the away leg. I think it was the first team in Champions League history to win the away leg 2-0 and then to not like go through.
Yeah, this was really bad for them, particularly where United, obviously, huge club, but the sort of the teams at the moment, they're obviously big favourites. Win the first leg 2-0 away. Exactly. To not go through in those circumstances is terrible.
I remember, I think it was a couple of years ago, there was a player, I can't remember who, that went to PSG, and like United were interested in him as well. And Thiago Silva said, well, he came to us because we're a bigger club. I was thinking, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
United won the European Cup before they even existed. It's just like, look.
They're just a very rich club.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But when that penalty went in, there's nothing better. Penalty in the last minute. Rashford against Buffon. It's like, oh, God, how much of a man are you? Can you hold your nerve? Buffon as well, I read, made his Champions League debut before Rashford was even born.
Yeah, I think I heard that one. Yeah, it's amazing. I quite like actually that Buffon's still playing, because it kind of makes me... sometimes with footballers, certain things make you feel old with football. Like when a player that you think of as young has got old, like Theo Walcott has just turned 30, and you feel like, bloody hell, I'm getting old. The fact that Buffon is still playing pretty much is like, that's like a constant throughout my entire sort of life of watching football, makes me feel that I'm not so old.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that penalty, it's amazing. The nerve to take that.
Just smashed it in. Oh gosh, that was
particularly
such a great feeling.
Another thing with PSG actually, with the kind of easy to dislike them, was the whole sort of Buffon. I know, going there, playing him was like almost like, we're going to win the Champions League. And
exactly. What was that? He left Juventus. He was like, like Mr. Juventus, and then just left. I thought he was retiring. Then he just fucking turned up at like PSG.
Yeah, and almost a bit kind of the fact they were even playing him in those circumstances was almost, I don't know, there's something about it. It's almost, it came across, I think, a bit kind of arrogant, a bit overconfident, and then he made the mistake, didn't he?
For the second goal,
Second goal, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
I saw the video of you celebrating the penalty, and
the problem was, and this was the same after the England-Colombia game, because obviously these games are in the evening. You go to bed, you can't sleep because you're too excited. I went to work the next day. I only slept about 2 hours. One other thing which I need to tell you, I mentioned this in one of the family podcasts recently, is so Eric Cantona posted a picture of him, Alex Ferguson and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I commented with a heart, and Eric Cantona liked my comment. I mean... Doesn't get much better than that.
It means you're pretty much best mates now, doesn't it?
Well, speaking of that, being best mates, I thought we must be mates now. So I actually sent him a private message on Instagram saying, hi, Eric, thanks for liking my comment. I've got a Learning English podcast. Do you want to come on and tell us how you learned English? Still waiting for a response from Eric. I'm sure he's just got other things to do, though, and he will respond.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's got a few other things to do. Yeah, shame. Worth a try.
Well, that's exactly what I thought.
I try.
Exactly. I thought at worst I'll get no response, but Eric might be listening, and if you are, Eric, reply to my message, and you can be on this great show as well.
If you are listening, Eric, then come on, get involved.
We probably should move on to at least one other match. Liverpool Bayern Munich. That was pretty crazy. Liverpool, they're a bloody good team.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually quite comfortable in the end, I think, from what I saw of that game. That
Mane as well is just fucking on fire. He's just so fast. Even just looking at him, I start feeling dizzy, like I'm going to fall over.
Yeah, no, he's doing really well this. I think he's probably been their best player this season. They I think won that pretty comfortably.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was obviously 0-0 in the first leg, which they should have really won. They scored the first goal. Again, that was Mane's goal, which was absolutely great goal.
Yeah.
And then Bayern got one back, but they always looked in control.
Yeah, and I think they're now the only team from last season's semi-finals to still be in this year's competition.
Right.
So they're always kind of a good bet in Europe, aren't they? Liverpool.
But I've got one of my friends at work actually. He's a Scouser, so a Scouser is someone from Liverpool. And he was talking about this actually, and when we were waiting for the draw, and he said he would rather get Man United than he'd rather get Man City than Man United.
Okay.
And because City haven't got that European tradition, he says to be successful in Europe, it's like a mentality thing. And he said, and they haven't got that. So he said he would prefer to play City, who are obviously a better team than Man United, just for that reason.
Yeah, they don't seem to kind of rise to the occasion so much in Europe.
Yeah.
City, Liverpool definitely do.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they are a good team to watch as well. And that Mane, as I said, the other great thing is loads of great songs about Mane.
Yeah. You're a fan of the old football chant.
There's nothing I love more than a football chant. The best Mane was, "Oh Mane Mane, do 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 do, oh Mane Mane." Yeah, Liverpool fans are good with songs actually. The Mo Salah one, another one I liked, is Mo Salah, Mo Salah.
Is that to a tune of a particular song?
What's that one? It's definitely a song. I don't know what song.
Yeah, might just be the way that you're singing it that that's not coming through the tune.
Exactly. So there was Tottenham as well. All 4 English teams went through, didn't they? City, let's not talk about them. Just 7-0. Yeah. Okay, yeah. They won the first match, didn't they? They had 10 men and were losing.
Yeah.
And then actually won that match. That was away. And then they played the home match just 7-0. So
7-0. Yeah, they absolutely tore through Schalke in that. It could have been more.
I do my best not to watch them because I dislike them so much that I really do actually go out of my way to not watch anything connected with them. I'll only watch them if they're playing, so like United, probably like Liverpool. I wouldn't watch them play Chelsea. I wouldn't switch that on just because I dislike them so much. It would be a waste of my time.
Yeah. No, I mean, I kind of find them easier to like than Chelsea in terms of the sort of the clubs with, all the money, the new money.
I do. I must
just
admit,
because
I like
they do play good football. Yeah. And I like Guardiola. So yeah, I kind of prefer watching them to Chelsea for sure.
Yeah. Plus they got Sterling as well, and he is on fire.
That's great. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah. He's about the only thing that I probably like about them. But everything else I very much dislike. So they went through. Spurs went through, like convincingly beat Borussia Dortmund. 4-0 on aggregate?
Yeah. Again, pretty comfortable. Dortmund, I think they caught Dortmund at the right time from what I've read because they sort of had a great start to the Bundesliga, but they're kind of falling away a little bit.
Right. Because I think Bayern are top now, aren't they?
Yeah, they've taken a lead. I think the last I looked. Good for Spurs, annoyingly. Tough for me to say as an Arsenal fan, but they're looking good.
Although very unlikely they'll be passed in the next round because they obviously got drawn against Man City.
Yeah.
I really can't see them winning that. Over 2 legs to beat them.
I can't see that.
In one match something might happen and you might win, but I can't see over 2 matches them.
I think that's definitely the draw for Spurs you wouldn't want, not only because they're one of the best teams left in it, City, but also I think when you go out if you go out, obviously, to an English club, I don't know, at least if you're in the Champions League, you're playing a team from a different country. It's a kind of a European kind of
adventure.
Night. Okay, and Arsenal have had that a couple of times. Well, 3 times actually in not too distant past. Chelsea, United, Liverpool, all have knocked us out of the Champions League, and it kind of feels unfair in a way.
Well, certainly for the supporters as well, especially for Spurs fans. Like it's not like, and they've got like a huge European tradition. They have got some European tradition, but like to have a away trip to go to, I don't know, Barcelona.
Yeah, exactly. It's all part of the sort of the journey.
Exactly. Speaking of the draw, so like as I said, my friend from work who's a big Liverpool fan, really into football, we were in like a sort of seminar and he had his phone out and just sort of was showing it as it was coming out. I don't know why we're so obsessed with like watching the draw. I could have waited.
Oh, yeah. I know. I watch them. I don't know why, and they take ages every time.
I know.
Yeah.
And then so just watching these names pop up, and then the last one. So I was like calculating and thinking, okay, so they're done. They're done.
They've gone.
There's only Barcelona left. I was like, okay, great, fucking brilliant, Barcelona. And then even more annoyingly, I'd booked flights to go home for Easter, like I don't know, a month ago. And then there was this thing that they can't play on the same day as United, and then it got moved because City finished higher in the league last year. And
Yeah.
the day they moved it to, which is, I think, 16th of April, is the day I'm flying back. So I'm going to fucking miss the match. And it's the second leg as well.
That's bad luck. That's bad luck. But yeah, particularly when it's moved. Arsenal, we have the same thing with Chelsea at the moment in that our games get moved because
really?
if they clash with Chelsea,
Yeah, Chelsea got Napoli, didn't they, in the Europa League?
No, we did.
Of
we
course,
did.
yeah.
So that was what made it even more annoying is that ours got moved. We got Napoli. They got Slavia Prague, I think. And I was kind of like, just move theirs. They're going to beat Slavia Prague. We've got Napoli. We need all the help we can get because we had the away leg first initially, which I prefer personally. But now it's been switched, so we have the away leg second.
I prefer the away leg second.
Do you?
Because then when you go there, the pressure's on the other team because you can go there. For example, the United PSG game is a perfect example. Like, we went there, like, pressure off. I mean, obviously we were losing as well. But because of the way it is with, like, the away goals, because it can just, exactly in that match, there was one goal in it, and then the home team can actually go out, like, let alone actually like draw or something like that. One goal can send them out, and then everywhere it just gets nervy. Everyone gets nervous.
Yeah, there is that. I guess. It's probably some stats we could find, see where the advantage is at home or first leg. I don't know. There's just something about knowing that whatever happens in the first leg, that you can like go back home. But
I think as well, if you win the home leg and you keep a clean sheet, so a clean sheet's when you don't concede a goal. So if you win, for example, even 1-0 in your home leg, when you go to the away game, if you score one
just
goal,
get one goal. Yeah,
they then need to score
difference.
3. But if you win like 2-0 at home, you score a goal away, they need to score 4.
I actually think they should get rid of the away goals rule, but
I like it. I like it.
Do you?
It just adds that extra drama. But again, the United PSG game, perfect example.
Yeah, I think I'm just biased because I feel like Arsenal have gone out on that rule on quite a few occasions, and it just always kind of seems inherently unfair. But it does add. It does. What I do dislike is the phrase that away goals count double.
Yeah,
because they don't count double. And everyone, people in English anyway, they use that phrase, and it's misleading.
Yeah.
But yeah, talking of the Napoli game, a lot of the Arsenal. I've just brought this to the Europa League and the Arsenal because we were talking about Champions League. But let's talk about the Europa League.
League's important, yeah. United won that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, good competition.
Yeah.
There's apparently Naples is quite a tricky place for away fans to go, and they let fans in like after the game has kicked off just to make sure they're separated from home fans. Apparently, I don't know if you can shed any light on.
I don't know anything about it being shed. About getting in after the game's kicked off. That sounds.
I think
very
for
strange.
European game, that's what I read anyway.
What if there's a goal in the first 10 seconds?
You miss it. Yeah.
That's a fucking nightmare. You pay all that money and then you fucking got to miss a part of the match.
Yeah, because the thing I was sort of listening to on, they were sort of making the argument that if that's what's necessary to keep people safe in Naples, that they should just not be allowed to host games there. Because
that's crazy.
Yeah. Maybe I've read the wrong thing and someone listening who knows far more about Napoli than I do can correct us. But yeah.
One thing that I definitely want to talk to you about, I don't know how interested people are in this, but I want to ask Boom Boom, did you watch the Arsenal United game?
I did, yes.
That was fucking so annoying. That was like just before Arsenal scored, Lukaku missed from about fucking 3 yards out. That's the thing, like I've said it before, I'll say it again, flak trap bully. Like he'll score against like the smaller teams, although he did score against PSG. He's just got no finesse. Like that should have been back of the net. And then like 2 minutes later, Arsenal scored that goal where De Gea, I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, it was a big error. It was. I think in recent years, quite a few of the Arsenal United games, I feel like could have. There's a few where I feel like have gone against us that maybe shouldn't have done. So I felt like it was kind of calmer.
And the penalty as well, but I mean, considering that was a few days after the PSG game, I thought I'll take that. Like, I don't think it was a penalty; it was against us. But I'll take that on the chin because after the PSG one, it was worth it to get that penalty in Paris.
It's hard to be neutral on these things, I guess. I think I've seen angles where it looks very soft and Lacazette obviously goes down easily. But I have seen other angles, particularly from behind, where it very much looks like Fred just isn't going for the ball and cuts across Lacazette.
Yeah,
but
I'm not
obviously
so sure
it's hard to be neutral on this because obviously I'm going to say it's a penalty.
Speaking of Fred and football chants, I mentioned this to Brendan last time we spoke, but I want to share it again. There's a brilliant United song at the moment, which is obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the manager. It's Ole's at the wheel. Tell me how good does it feel? We've got Sanchez, Paul Pogba and Fred. Marcus Rashford's a Manc born and bred. And then it sort of continues. But the hilarious thing is that Fred is in the song.
Fred's inclusion.
Who's been absolutely shit. But we just think, okay, Marcus Rashford is Manc born and bred. We need something that rhymes with bread. What about Fred? Let's get him in the song.
Because we all love him.
Go on, Fred. Go on, Freddie.
After that game, actually, I think it was on the official Arsenal Twitter account, posted with the hashtag Unai's at the wheel. And I was quite tempted to
always copying Arsenal to
screenshot it and send it to you, but
not the first time they've stolen songs.
Rise above
Arsenal, they love stealing songs. Get your own songs.
Yeah,
I remember that Nasri one that was stolen of like.
Oh, it's a great song.
Started with Nicky Butt in the 90s at United. Sure, whatever.
No, but hang on. Do you know it started with Nicky Butt in the 90s, or there was that song to that tune about Nicky Butt in the 90s?
I'm pretty sure it was the first.
You're pretty sure that United basically invented that song?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say I'm sure. Anyway, on that note, I think it's a good time to go, Boom Boom.
Okay.
Obviously got internationals. Hopefully we'll do this again soon.
Yeah. Let's particularly later in the season let's fit another one in.
Exactly. Certainly that top 4 race, that's hot enough.
Yes,
isn't it?
it is. Yeah, maybe if it comes down to Arsenal and United, we should do another football special.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Boom Boom. Thanks a lot for your time.
Cool. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, so that was me and Boom Boom there talking about football in a very normal way, very real English there. You have just witnessed a football conversation between two friends, and we would have had that conversation anyway. Just this time I pressed record. I quickly want to mention Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm sure he's listening to this podcast. You know, he loves rock and roll English. What a man. 34 years old and still at the absolute top of his game. I think it's a disgrace that Modric won the Ballon d'Or instead of him. It was just a fashionable thing to say about Modric. Yeah, he's really good, but doing what Cristiano Ronaldo is doing is just, well, he's not, basically. Also last year, you know, Real Madrid won the European Cup. All the goals that Ronaldo scored, I don't know, in the quarterfinals, semi-finals, stuff like this. The man is incredible. The way he looks after himself, his professionalism is just unbelievable. I also loved that celebration he did to the Atletico fans after the match. I think it's a joke as well that he got fined for that. He got in trouble. Because, you know, fans sing, they insult players for 90 minutes. And then when a player gives something back, gives some abuse back, he gets fined. For me, it's all part of the game. If you give abuse, you have to take it. As long as it's nothing violent, you know, no one wants violence, just a bit of friendly banter. There's no problem with that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. We will do this again soon. I don't know when. Maybe after the next round of Champions League matches. And next time we will talk about all of the teams. Sorry about that, but next time it will be better, okay? Anyway, I will see you all again soon, people. But in the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Football crazy, football mad. Grab a micro star, play football with the lads. There's Rooney, Drogba, Messi. Who will you select? Play the game and swap them. There's 40 to collect. Football crazy.